John Marsh is one big man. He has 6 losses on his record, but check out this resume. Jeremy Horn, Rico Rodriguez, Vladimir Matyushenko, Mike Van Arsdale, and one of the top 5 heavyweights in the world, Josh Barnett. I think that John Marsh is extremely tough. He just hasn't had an opportunity to build himself and to build his career. He jumped right in the lion's den, so to speak, when it comes to
настало
opponents.
время пригласить в ринг его соперника, представляющего сборную России. И я с удовольствием это делаю. Встречайте, Олег, русский медведь, Taktarov!
Well, you hit the nail right on the head, Jeff, when you said that Marsh was jumping into the lion's den, or the bear's den, more specifically, the Russian bear. That man right there, Oleg Taktarov, a legendary figure in the sport of mixed martial arts. He scored one of the most significant victories in the sport's history with his win over Tank Abbott in the finals of a UFC tournament in which he nearly died from exhaustion. Incredibly tenacious, even though he is a submissions master, he's known even more for his unbelievable will to win and his willingness to endure horrible punishment in the name of gaining the eventual victory. The Russian crowd has definitely bought their tickets to see this man here more than anyone else on the show tonight.
Ему 37 лет, рост 183 сантиметра и вес 100 килограммов. Его профессиональный рекорд – 7 побед, 6 поражений. Участник турниров Pride и UFC. Мастер рукопашного боя из Редондо-Бич, Калифорния. Чел по прозвищу Бык Марш. Дамы и господа, и настало время представить вам бойца в черном углу ринга. Ему 40 лет, рост 183 сантиметра и вес 100 килограммов. Его профессиональный рекорд – 14 побед, 5 поражений, 2 ничьих. Чемпион мира по боям без правил в тяжелом весе. Звезда Голливуда, вернувшийся в большой спорт. Из Сарова, Россия, Олег, русский медведь, Taktarov!
And we are about to find out, Jeff, how much of the Russian bear of old is left in Taktarov, 40 years of age and stepping into the ring for the first time since 1998.
Yeah, it's funny that Oleg Taktarov retired in February of 1998. John Marsh had his first fight 2 months later. Very interesting factor. They're pretty close in age. I think Oleg, not in the shape that he once was, being that Oleg is primarily an actor. Oleg got out of Ultimate Fighting, so to speak, to get in the entertainment industry and done pretty well.
A very successful actor, in fact, making prominent appearances in films such as Rollerball and 15 Minutes, but now making an equally prominent appearance right here in the Bodog Fight Ring, his first in-ring appearance since 1998, if you discount a celebrity boxing match against Dolph Lundgren some time ago that may have reignited his competitive urges.
One thing I could say about March is he holds a victory over Cabbage. Cabbage, you know, they have different fighting styles, but Oleg and Cabbage can take a lot of punches. Oh, he is dropped.
Oleg was rocked and now clinging like a drowning man to a life preserver to that rope, and you can see he's still on Queer Street, as they would say, his eyes rolled back in his head. Taktarov definitely suffering from that shot. You have to wonder, Jeff, why Marsh didn't pounce when he got the opportunity.
Yeah, Oleg latched onto the ropes, grabbed the ropes. I don't think he was all there for about 3 or 4 seconds. That wasn't a flash knockdown. He was legitimately out.
That was a knockdown that would have ended most fights. Taktarov showing that incredible resilience that has been his hallmark throughout his career. But I'll tell you something, Marsh's moment of hesitation after the knockdown may prove to be his undoing. That could have been his biggest chance to end this fight. Marsh now working within the half guard of Taktarov. He has to be careful because, as I said, Taktarov's submission skills are vastly underrated.
You see Taktarov is hooking behind that ankle as if to sneak a leg through, but lets it go.
I do know a stuntman who worked with Taktarov on rollerball, and he said during the off time, Taktarov would grapple with several members of the stunt team and wouldn't even break a sweat, easily tapping everyone out.
And how's this for a switcheroo? John Marsh going for a knee bar. Marsh grabbed his ribs, not sure why.
Well, Taktarov was pistoning his heels at Marsh. Perhaps he managed to drive one into the floating rib. And I'll tell you something, if he did manage to injure Marsh's ribs, that could change the complexion of this fight drastically. As you know, Jeff, a rib injury greatly impairs an athlete's ability to breathe. And you see Marsh shaking that right arm too, as if perhaps that's been injured as well.
And listen to this crowd rally behind Taktarov. I mean, this guy became an overnight legend when he defeated Tank Abbott. That was probably one of the most monumental events in mixed martial arts history.
Marsh attempting an upper body takedown, but to no avail. Taktarov back on his feet. And Marsh being warned to keep from grabbing the ropes. Marsh has definitely injured either his right arm or his right shoulder. Continually shaking it, and now it's Marsh on the defensive as Taktarov pursues.
Taktarov trying to go to the body.
Very smart move. We saw Eric Pele doing that earlier on. Bas Rutten, legendary mixed martial artist, has always said it's one of the most underutilized punches in MMA is the straight right to the body. You see Marsh wincing.
Yeah, something happened that we probably won't know till after this fight is over. Could be a rib, could be a shoulder, could be the arm. He is favoring that arm.
Marsh now pursuing, firing a stiff jab into the face of Taktarov. But Taktarov has to know, as he throws a wild left hook, he has to know that perhaps the weapon of Marsh's straight right has been blunted. And now Marsh definitely having trouble trying to take Taktarov down and wincing in pain once again as he has to use that right arm.
Here's some heavy breathing inside of that ring. Taktarov, as I said, not in the fighting shape that he would probably want to be.
30 seconds, Johnny. 30
Marsh
seconds.
digging a hard liver shot into Taktarov's rib cage, trying to pummel his left arm inside.
Use your left. Use your left. Come on.
Momentary stalemate in the corner. Those short shots are probably not going to do much to phase Taktarov as he looks up at the screen to see that we are in the closing seconds of this first round.
10 seconds.
Oh, Marsh with a nice shoulder drive right into the nose of Taktarov.
Закончен первый раунд.
Now you see Marsh clutching that right arm against his body. Definitely something has happened there. Either a shoulder injury or an arm injury. I would be surprised if that were not a huge factor in the remainder of this fight.
Here's a look. They started it off. Taktarov gets dropped with a brutal right cross. And takes about 3 or 4 seconds to get his marbles back. Here's a look at that transition. Nice knee over the sternum and chest to isolate Taktarov from moving. Goes for knee bar, doesn't get it. And here's another exchange between the two. 10-9 for Marsh, clearly because of that knockdown.
I have to say, judging by his facial expression, the way he's holding that right arm, he does not look ready to come out for round 2. While Taktarov looks relatively fresh for a guy who almost had his head punched off his shoulders. Taktarov pursuing wild right hand. Marsh backs away. And Marsh getting to work with the left hand, but reluctant to throw that right. Taktarov with a headlock and spinning into a rolling knee bar, extending the leg, and just like that, it is all over. In his first fight in nearly 10 years, Oleg Taktarov victorious by submission right here in Moscow, Russia, right here in Bodog Fight. The jubilant corner hoists the Russian Bear overhead as the crowd comes to their feet and cheers on their hero. Taktarov in tears. An emotional return to the mixed martial arts ring for one of the greatest champions in the history of the greatest sport in the world. Well, I'll tell you, Jeff, it looks like Taktarov has lost a step or two, as anybody would at 40 years old, but that rolling knee bar was as sharp as any submission grappler could ever pull off. I have to say, we still seeing flashes of the old Russian Bear.
Yeah, I hate to use this, but that's look like a move you would see in a Hollywood movie. No pun intended. Picture perfect rolling knee bar.
You see the right arm of Marsh hanging limp. He actually clutched at his arm immediately after tapping out from the knee bar as opposed to his leg, which would show you that some probably egregious damage has been done there.
I think he just pointed to his right shoulder as he walked to his corners to say something's wrong.
Господа, ваш победитель пришел к вам через 33 секунды второго раунда. Победу болевым приемом одержал Олег «Русский медведь» Taktarov!
Ladies and gentlemen, this one comes to an end at the 33-second mark of round number 2. Your winner by way of submission, Oleg, the Russian Bear, Taktarov.
Дамы и господа, наш турнир завершен. Мы не прощаемся с вами и ждем с вами новых встреч. А с вами был Bodog Fight!
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for experiencing history with us. On behalf of Bodog Fight,
You could think of no better way to send this Moscow crowd home happy than by that man right there, achieving a dominant victory in his own signature style. Knee bar tap-out submission for the Russian Bear Oleg Taktarov, and one of the most legendary figures in the game goes home with a win in his first match in nearly a decade to end an explosive, exciting night of action. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, from the Megasport Ice Arena in Moscow, Russia. And for Bodog Fight Commissioner Jeff Osborne, I'm Paul the Mauler Lazenby, inviting you to join us for more action on the vault on BodogLife.net. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and good night.
Думаю, что без вас бы нашей победы бы не было. Я тут немножко потерялся вначале, но я слышал ваш крик, я слышал, как вы поддерживали, поэтому встал. И дальше же четко, по-русски, спокойно подготовил то, что, в принципе, планировал изначально. Спасибо вам большое. И 40 лет – это только начало спортивной карьеры. Я думаю, это был худший мой бой. Дальше будет лучше. Спасибо. Спасибо родному Сарову, что приехали. Спасибо боевому братству, что поддержали. Спасибо моим друзьям из фильма «Монтана» и фильма «Путь», который скоро выйдет. Супер просто фильмы. Спасибо вам всем.
Это был Олег Taktarov!